still considered fairly newer. Um, because I'm still fairly newer. On Friday of last week, um, was it the 4th, April 4th? One of my supervisors came to me and said, "Do you want to take this coming Thursday, Friday off, which would have been the 10th and the 11th?" And I told them no because I got bills to pay, and obviously they don't give a shit. They still gave me Thursday, Friday off after I told them I couldn't, that I didn't want them off. Um, so on Monday this week, my lead supervisor came to me and said, "You have no. It's not a choice. Um, you're being forced to take. That it's being mandated to have Thursday, Friday off for all the new hires who have less than 2 years experience." So I'm not getting. I was so I'm not, as of right now. I'm not getting the 5 days that I was promised upon hire. Now they dropped me down from 5 days to 3, and not just me. There's other people at UPS that are getting fucked over right now. Um, so they're dropping down people from 5 days to 3, and they're only getting like, so with the 3 days a week, that's like 15 hours. Not even that. You can't pay bills on that. So if anybody says, "Oh, you can pay your bills on 3 days a week," you really can't. Let me know what job will pay you your bills on 3 days a week at 15 hours. And nobody's going to come up with an answer because you can't. I need at least 40 hours a week. That's how I make my bills, and that's how I make my living, is by doing 40 hours a week. So I've been on Indeed since Wednesday afternoon, since I got off of work at UPS, just putting in application after application after application, just trying to find something. And usually I try not to settle for anything less than what I'm making now at UPS. I'm just writing this out because, UPS is paying for my colleges, so I can't afford to quit even if I wanted to. So I'm stuck where I'm at until I find a second job. Hopefully the second job will actually be better than what I'm doing now. There's other warehouse jobs that I'm looking at. Even restaurant jobs. I tried not to go back to the restaurant because, restaurants, they don't really give you a whole lot of money unless it's involved with tips. Unless you get a job that tips you out, then that's somewhat okay. I've worked jobs where I got tipped and other times I haven't. But right now, UPS is in a lot of trouble for a lot of shit, not just fucking the workers over right now. Now, some UPS workers and their union have expressed concerns about what they perceive as unfair practices, which I'm being treated unfairly right now because I was promised 5 days a week, and instead I'm getting 3 days a week. Workers in the union allege that UPS has been manipulating time cards to reduce the amount of time recorded for certain tasks, like on the clock travel between facilities, which impacts the pay. There have been allegations that UPS has failed to provide employees with proper lunch breaks, leading to unpaid work time. Now, if you're a full-time worker, you get a 1-hour lunch break, and if you're a part-time worker, you get 1 10-minute break, which is nothing because I never take my breaks anyway, because it's like, if I'm working only 4 hours a day, or sometimes 5, there's no reason for me to take a 10-minute break. Currently, UPS is has a contract that's good up until 2028. So hopefully by 2029, when the new one kicks in, it'll be better. There's no guarantee. The Teamsters and UPS have been in a long-standing contract dispute leading to practice pickets and the potential for a full-scale strike. Now, some UPS workers have become vocal critics of the company's practices, including those related to how the company treats its employees and the potential for workplace safety issues. If you work at UPS, you have to have boots, whether they don't have to be steel toe, but they have to be some type of boots. I have steel-toed boots because, steel-toed boots are just regular boots, are the only ones that you can have at UPS for when you're working. Workers and unions have filed lawsuits against UPS to address alleged violations of labor laws and collective bargaining agreements. When I started last year at UPS in September, there was actually a strike going on, but I don't remember for what department. Now, the Teamsters have voted to authorize a work stoppage for a new contract if a new contract is not reached, which could significantly impact the UPS operations. The Teamsters and UPS are actively negotiating a new contract, which they do every 5 years, with the potential for continued tension and conflict. Workers and unions are using social media and public statements to raise awareness about their concerns and put pressure on UPS to address them. Yeah, but right now, like I said, unless you have 2 years or more experience at UPS, now is not the time to be hired for them, because it's like they're fucking over any new workers that have less than 2 years experience by giving them only 3 days instead of the 5 that they're supposed to be promised. So right now, I said I'm just gonna keep looking for other jobs and try to find something. Hopefully something comes along this week or so. I'm starting my second college class in June for the summer course. Obviously I was only able to get into one class because the other class I wanted overlapped with the one that I wanted to take in the morning. They were both from 11:30 to 3:30, and I couldn't be in 2 classes at once, so I was only able to get into one. And then when the fall hits, I'll get into a class then. I might not do a winter class because I don't want to be walking 40 minutes to get to the bus stop and then have to take a bus to get to the campus, so I might not do a winter class like during the winter. So I'll just settle on doing the spring, summer, and fall classes, and then when the next spring hits up in March of next year, then I'll get that. The only thing that will be helping out of the $100 paycheck that I'll be getting from UPS for 3 days a week is the extra $300 I'm getting for keeping a C average in my class. That's the only thing that will be helping. Which I already got one $300 payment already for it. Anybody is willing to come on, leave your comments, let me know what you guys are thinking. Tell me if you agree with UPS fucking the workers over right now, because that's what they're doing. So you can hop on, leave comments, let me know what you guys are thinking. So in the time being, I've been watching TV and looking for jobs. And then I did place 2 orders. I'm waiting on those. I think one's supposed to come in today and the other one's supposed to come in tomorrow. And I can tell you right now, a lot of people can tell you that you cannot pay your bills in 3 days a week. Other people say, oh, you can. Obviously, you cannot. So it's like you just gotta write it out, and basically that's what I have to do. I have to write it out because my college courses are gonna take at least 4 years if I do my degree. So I'm just gonna have to write this up for 4 years, and hopefully something better will come along by then. Before you guys get tuned in, hit the like and subscribe. Hit the like and subscribe for RBW King. And basically leave a comment. Let me know what you guys are thinking in the live chat. Let me know if you agree with the workers being fucked over and how you would go about it. Because I can tell you right now, I'm not the only one that's pissed off about this, because it's affecting my money and what I could be making by doing this. There's a lot of shit to go on about UPS here. Let's see what we got. Because there's always news about UPS anyway. There's always news about UPS. Let's see here. Damn, how did he get away with this? Damn. The Pensacola man stole 171 iPhones while working as a UPS employee. Man, I'm like, how do you not get caught? At least not right away. Now this is typically a felony. A 27-year-old Pensacola man is charged with stealing 171 iPhones while working for UPS as an employee. Carl Sykes was arrested Thursday on a charge of grand theft cargo of $50,000 or more. Now, you can never really tell what's in those boxes anyway when they come down the roller, so I don't know how he could tell what was in there or what was not. Um, um, Now, according to the arrest report, the thefts happened from January to April of this year. The report states a security officer for UPS told deputies that over the past three months, employees on here. Let's go back down. The report states a security officer for UPS told deputies that over the past 3 months, an employee named Sykes has been taking iPhone 16s out of packages. Now, UPS reportedly discovered that each shipment to T-Mobile that had discrepancy issues was loaded by Sykes. Now, according to the report, investigators first discovered that 130 iPhones supposed to be loaded by Sykes did not reach their destinations, which was a total value of nearly $175,000. Investigators later discovered 171 iPhones were stolen in all. The report states that Sykes admitted to stealing the phones so that he could sell them for his own personal gain. But basically somebody should have caught that on right away, not just. I'm surprised nobody caught that right away. Now, FedEx and UPS are losing parcel market share to big retailers and smaller couriers. Let's see this here. This is from a few days ago. Now, Walmart is saying that in-store fulfillment helps e-commerce turn the first profit. Can I close this out? Okay. So Americans are shipping more parcels than ever before, but traditional parcel carriers like FedEx and UPS are losing market share to private fleets operated by online retailers and regional couriers, many of which have sprouted in recent years to meet e-commerce demand for the last mile delivery. Now, this is the conclusion of a report on Thursday from ShipMatrix Inc., which is a parcel management company, consulting and analytics firm with a strong history assessing industry trends. Hold on a second here. Let me see if I can get my mouse. Eventually, oh, there we go. Okay. Shit. Okay. Okay, so Let's see if this works here. Okay, I'm gonna close that out. Fucker, okay. So yeah. But there's that. Yeah. So this is the conclusion, basically, of a report on Thursday from ShipMatrix Inc., which, like I said, was a parcel management consulting and analytics firm with a strong history, assessing the industry trends. Now, in 2024, parcel volumes reached an all-time high of 23.8 billion, which was up from 4% from the prior year and 50% since 2019. Parcel delivery revenues grew 4.1% to $188 billion, with an average revenue of $8 per parcel. Now, ShipMatrix estimates the UPS parcel volume will grow at a compound annual rate of 4% over the next 3 years to $26.8 billion in 2027. Now, however, most of that growth will be handled by private networks of Amazon, Walmart, and other retailers, resulting in a flat to negative growth for UPS, FedEx, and USPS. The report said. Now, FedEx and UPS face keen competition in parcel shipping from Amazon Logistics, Walmart, and Target, as well as smaller independent carriers such as OnTrack, Better Trucks, Jitsu, Veho, SpeedX, and Uni. Now, the growth of volume among companies that are one of the largest customers of FedEx, UPS, and the U.S. Postal Service is the most dramatic market development in recent years, and it poses an ongoing risk to the legacy carriers, ShipMatrix said. Now, Amazon dropped FedEx as a carrier 5 years ago. UPS said in January that it will slash volumes that it handles for Amazon by 50% over the next 18 months, as it focuses on a higher yield freight. Now here is an outlook of the parcel market from 2024 of last year. You see right here, this is 9.7% by others. Total market 23.4 billion. FedEx at 14.3. USPS 30%. UPS down here in the reddish color, like the dark burgundy reddish color, 20.2%. Then you got this here. Amazon Logistics by 25.5%. And so on and so on. Amazon last year delivered 6.1 billion packages compared to 1.7 billion in 2019. Now, other carriers led by Walmart saw growth jump from 44% a year ago to 2.3 billion packages. The number of shipments for this cohort has nearly quadrupled from 600 million in 2019. Now, UPS parcel volume of the 4.8 billion was flat year over year, while FedEx recorded a marginal decrease to 3.4 billion packages. Now, parcel industry revenue growth was normalized after spiking in 2021 and 2022, but consumers were reluctant to shop in person because of COVID-19 and heavily relied on ordering goods from their computers or mobile devices. See, for me, the reason why I order offline is because I don't have a car and don't know how to drive. So I'm very limited on where I can go to pick up my groceries, even if I wanted to, or anything. So I just have it delivered to me through people picking it up. Now UPS led the way in revenue last year at $59.8 billion. Other carriers, excluding Amazon, FedEx, and the Postal Service, experienced 48% revenue growth to $13 billion. Walmart's ability to fulfill orders from its stores and clubs have been a key driver of its e-commerce. growth. CEO Doug McMillon said that during an investors' town hall on Wednesday, the retailer's coverage of a U.S. household with the same-day delivery has gone up by 22% during the past 2 years. The company can now provide same-day delivery to 93% of its U.S. customers' residences, which is up from 76% of households 2 years ago. Management said that e-commerce represents 17% of the retailer's total net sales, and they expect it to contribute to 50% of top-line growth over the next 5 years. The U.S. e-commerce business has turned a corner this quarter, and the company now forecasts it to achieve profitability for the full year after, McMillon said. But in related news, Shipium, a shipping platform for e-commerce brands, has added Uni to its carrier network, and the Last Mile Logistics Company announced had announced on Tuesday. Now this is for 2024, I think. Yeah, 2024 market share by revenue. This is United States. The United States Postal Service. That's the mail company. 17.3%. The total market size was $188 billion. Other carriers almost at 7%. United Postal Service here at almost 32%. Amazon Logistics at 18%, and FedEx Corporation at 25%. So you got those there. Get on there. Now, ShipMatrix said it relied on company reports, regulatory filings, and other data sources for its findings, which is understandable. Now, fun facts from the ShipMatrix report: some 67 million parcels are delivered per day. Yeah, there's a lot of people ordering stuff every day. Unless you have Amazon Prime, you can get your shit the same day. 70 parcels were delivered to people in 2024, or 1.8 parcels per week. The demand allows carriers to build network density for business to consumer deliveries. So there's been a lot of shutdowns for UPS in certain locations. One of the closest ones that was to me, other than Hutchins, was FedEx. Was in Bedford Park, and they closed on the Bedford Park location. Now, a UPS in Holman is closing, and they're laying off 40 workers. Who knows where they're gonna go? Damn, this guy's gotta be old as fuck. God, how old is this motherfucker? Damn, okay. This guy's gotta be like 70 years old, if not older. And he's still driving with UPS. Okay, this is a 3-minute read. Let's see. When driver George Ludovico clocked in for his very first day at UPS on December 3rd of 1960 something, gas was only 30 cents a gallon, and UPS wasn't even on the drawing board yet, let alone on dashboards. But fast forward 60 years later, and George is still delivering with the same passion he felt on day one. Now let's put this into perspective. George recently earned his 60-year Circle of Honor patch. over half a century of driving without a single incident and not even a fender bender. Damn, 60 years at one job. That means he's got to be in his 70s and still driving this for this company. Um, um, Basically, he said that UPS has been very good to him from day one. The benefits are great. That's the only good thing. The pay is great only if you get the hours. The pay is only great if you get the hours that you need. But other than that, the pay is not great if you're only working 3 days. Um, George's 61 years of working with UPS, which he stole there 61 years since 1963. This will be, if he makes it this year, it'll be his 62nd year. Like I said, he's got to be in his 70s. Um, Now, George's 61-year journey with UPS is nothing short of extraordinary. His dedication, his spirit of service, and his commitment to people reflect. Um, Now, George's 61-year journey with UPS is nothing but extraordinary. Which obviously I've never actually been at a job that long, and there's no guarantee that I would ever stay at a job for 60 years, if not longer. For me, I'm already pushing 40. Like I'm going to be 37 this year. So even if I did 61 years, I'll be damn near 100. Um, now, Now his dedication, his spirit of service, and his commitment to people reflect the very best of who he is. But he reminds but he reminds people that greatness isn't always about the big moments, but it's about the consistent leadership over shown over a lifetime. Said the UPS executive vice president and president U.S. Nando Cesarone. Now George is a living legacy and an inspiration to every UPSer who dreams of making a difference. Um, Now he does have his safety tips. Safety tips from a pro. If you do what you're supposed to, apply all the driving methods and stay focused, you'll get home in one piece. Um, UPS is fucking over a lot of new workers by dropping them down from 5 days to 3, which a lot of the people are not happy about. Um, so the commitment to safety hasn't gone unnoticed, but newspapers, members of Congress, and even the state of New Jersey dubbed him the safest man in Jersey. Um, so he works in New Jersey basically. Um, Obviously, I've been off of work since Wednesday. Not happy about it. I've been putting in applications. Obviously, all the thing I can do is wait for them to get back to me. Um, this guy George, who's been celebrating 60 years with UPS, or 61 years, when asked why he stayed at UPS for 60 plus years, the answer comes easily, heartfelt and humble. One word: service. He said he loves to serve people. Um, that's what he likes most. To see them happy. George said, "People on my route always say, 'Hi, George, how are you?' And some of them have become like his family, like just basically having friendly conversation." Um, Now, supposedly, UPS invested more than 500 million on safety training in the U.S. and our operation and the operations employees completed more than 8 million hours of safety training in 2024 alone. Um, more than 3,100 employee-led safety committees across the U.S. Union represented employees work hand in hand with management to conduct facility and equipment audits. Um, and recommended the work process changes and provide safety compliance training. Nearly 10,000 UPS drivers around the world make up the UPS Circle of Honor, signifying 25 years or more of safe driving. That's 1.5 billion miles without so much as a fender bender. Um, yeah, one of my roommates this year is going to celebrate his 30th year working with UPS. He basically started working after he graduated high school in 96 or 95. No, 95. He graduated high school in 95, and he's been working with UPS ever since. Um, so he's going to be celebrating his 30-year mark, I think, in September. Or no, not September, July. Um, and 30 years is a pretty good run to work for one job as it is. Um, Last week, there was a story in Minneapolis about a man who stole 27 guns from a UPS facility, and 8 of them were recovered. Um, now, now the man worked at the UPS facility in Minneapolis where the guns were stolen, but the man was also found to have narcotics and $1,000 of cash. He probably sold the guns. Um, um, so 27 handguns were stolen from the UPS facility, and what we know. In a Facebook post on Monday, the Minneapolis Police Department says that a man reportedly stole 27 handguns from a UPS shipping facility where he was working at. Um, the, the police tracked the man to Mystic Lake Casino where they arrested him. Now, officers seized 8 stolen handguns, the post said. Authorities also recovered narcotics and thousands of dollars in cash, and the suspect is currently booked in the Hennepin County Jail, which I'm not sure where that one is. It might be Minneapolis. Um, what we don't know, further details about the theft haven't been released, but Fo9 has reached out to the Minneapolis Police Department for more information. MPD says it is working with the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, which is also known as ATF, to locate the remaining 19 handguns that are still missing. Um, mm, UPS is modernizing the network deal, and hopefully for the next 10 years. Let's see how this goes. Um, hold on here. Okay, so the UPS inks a 10-year deal to modernize network. The partnership with NTT is hoping to modernize UPS IT infrastructure and bring more AI and cloud services to the operations. Um, Now, UPS has announced a new collaboration with data center provider NTT in a 10-year partnership that the companies said will bring AI and cloud services across UPS operations. Now, the collaboration is also intended to support UPS's digital transformation efforts, including the modernization of its data centers and the deployment of more flexible, efficient IT solutions. Now, as part of the agreement, NTT Data will acquire and operate one of UPS's mission-critical data centers and support the co-location of IT workloads on site. Now, the strategy will include using a blend of public cloud with on-premises infrastructure to improve agility and scalability. NTT Data will also work alongside UPS to develop new digital solutions. NTT Data will bring world-class data center and infrastructure service to UPS, said Ken Finnerty, who's the UPS Senior Vice President of Global Information Technology. Now, this arrangement allows the UPS technology teams to focus their expertise on the development of digital solutions to solve customer supply chain needs. Now, Um, now, um, Abhijit Dubey, NTT CEO, said that the company's data and infrastructure services will be used to help UPS deliver the next generation IT infrastructure and accelerate digital product development. Um, NTT Data's global capabilities, Dubey added, are expected to play a central role in delivering UPS's vision of data center of the future, advancing IT modernization and accelerating digital product development. Um, Now, as the third largest data center provider in the world, and the only one to offer full stack transformation services, um, NTT Data is well positioned to help UPS reduce operational costs and risks, and to drive the innovation and revenue growth and maintain market leadership. Dubey said. Um, Now, this collaboration is a testament to our commitment to helping clients swiftly keep pace with the markets and prepare for the future. Um, Now, the partnership responds to increasing pressure with the logistics and delivery sector to speed up services while maintaining operational efficiency, with NTT highlighting the critical role of digital transformation and staying competitive. Now, institutions and businesses are developing an insatiable need for speed, and the company said on its website, while strategies to speed up will be unique to to every organization, and this new role of Flux is only digital that it will build that it will build an organization's growth and fast twitch muscles. Um, let's see what else we can find here. I just started getting into Bitcoin. I don't know like how much money you could get off of Bitcoin. Obviously, I've been playing this game that where you can get Bitcoin, and this is actually off the news, off the website. Um, There's a troll in the group right now, in the chat. Um, um, but yeah, basically it's the news I'm reading. I don't have a newspaper. I don't get to the store as much to get a newspaper even if I wanted to. So this is all from the web. Um, my baseball team won yesterday, 16-0. They beat the Dodgers, 16-0. Obviously, um, and with these tariffs, who knows if that's even affecting it too. Okay, UPS right here is laying off 42 workers in Wisconsin as part of a cost-cutting plan. Um, no, there's another guy named Psycho. There's another guy named Psycho that was trolling. He's up here in the message. It's not UCM. I know that. There's a guy named Psycho Nuts. He's the troll. Um, yeah, I was looking at Dogecoin, um, but I do have Bitcoin. I haven't really looked at Dogecoin. I don't know what you could get off of Bitcoin and the Dogecoin. I'll look at that later and see how the Dogecoin compares to Bitcoin. Um, Now UPS is laying off. Um, now UPS is laying off. Okay, this is in Holman, Wisconsin. UPS is laying off dozens of employees in Wisconsin as it prepares to close one of its facilities in June. Um, Um, yeah, there is an option to block a troll if you don't want to see them. Um, Now, according to a worker adjustment and retraining notification warn letter submitted to the Wisconsin Department of Workforce Development, the impacted facility is located in Holmen, and it will permanently close down on June 10th of 2025. Um, that's only like a couple months away. Um, Now, this closure will affect 42 employees, including 24 part-time package handlers and 18 full-time employees. UPS says it will try to minimize the impact by offering alternative roles where possible. Um, the layoffs will affect both union and non-union workers. Union employees, represented by the International Brotherhood of Teamsters, will have bumping rights, meaning senior workers can take positions from those with less seniority. Um, Now, UPS says the move is part of a broader plan to cut $1 billion in costs across its operations. Um, Now, UPS has an unwavering commitment to serving our customers around the world, as we announced in January that they are making strategic changes to optimize the volume in our network, um, improve efficiency, and continue to deliver on our customer first strategy. The changes underway include closing a small percentage of the U.S. operations. Treating our employees fairly remains a top priority for us, and we will continue to provide um, industry leading service to customers in every community we serve. We will continue philanthropic investments to the UPS Foundation to build stronger communities. CM, you said you know a lot about Bitcoin, and you said something about buying Dogecoin, and you said that Dogecoin is cheaper than Bitcoin. Well, I don't know how each one works. Um, huh, fuck, it's only 3 o'clock already. Damn. Okay, let's see what this says here about UPS expanding delivery options with 2 new ground services. Don't want to be notified if I don't have to. Um, okay, hold on here. Okay, United Postal Services Inc. Is expanding its logistics portfolio with the introduction of 2 upgraded ground shipping services aimed at both home and commercial clients. Um, the newly launched offerings include UPS Ground Saver and UPS Ground with freight pricing. Um, the company plans to roll out additional enhancements through 2025 to elevate its premium delivery services. UPS Ground Saver targets the value focused direct to consumer businesses seeking reliable shipping without the urgency of expedited delivery. Um, built on the UPS Smart Logistics network, the service provides transit times similar to standard ground shipping, with an added buffer of 1 to 2 days. Um, it also includes features such as delivery photo, and offers the option to upgrade to quicker service through UPS My Choice for added flexibility and user control. Um, Now, UPS is on a mission to transform the customer experience by offering an end-to-end portfolio which provides delivery, returns, and pickup services 7 days a week, said Chief Commercial and Strategy Officer Matt Guffey. Um, Now, UPS Ground with freight pricing is positioned to tap into the expanding less than truckload LTL segment by focusing on shipments exceeding 150 pounds that fall short of requiring a full pallet. Um, Now, this service is particularly suited for commercial senders who want the consistency of small package delivery with the cost advantage of freight pricing. Now, it features a coast-to-coast coverage and eliminates common LTL surcharges, including those for lift gate access and inside drop-offs. Um, Shit. Okay. that's pretty much pretty good there. Let's see here. Um, this is already April. Next week is Easter, and Easter's on 420 this year. You know, that is Weed Day. Um, so, of course, I love my weed. Um, but, yes, so Easter this year falls on 420. Um, yeah, also, we're getting into the death stuff, too. Um, let's see. Oh, Tommy Helms died. I remember him as a baseball player, at least name-wise. Um, somebody from Doctor Who named Jean Marsh has died. Um, I never saw the show Doctor Who though, but I've always heard about it. Um, yeah, I understand the tariffs, but who knows if it's actually going to help or not in the long run? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Um, we got Nino Tempo died. I'm not sure Nino Tempo and the April Stevens. I'm not sure about that type of music. Um, we do have Mel Novak. Mel Novak died. Um, we do have Nikki Cat that died. I'm not sure about Nikki Cat. I'm not sure the name. Let's see what Nikki Cat's a guy. Okay, I'd have to look up his name. I'm not familiar with Nikki Cat. He stopped acting around 2018. No cause of death was given for him, even though it just states that he was 54 years old. Yeah, I'm like, now we have Joey Vera, who played on Lassie. God, that movie's so fucking old. The movie Lassie. That might have been the boy from Lassie. Um, Now Joey Vera actually started off using the name Donald Killer while he was playing on Lassie from 1954 to 57. Um, and he took the last name Killer from his aunt while working in the studios back in the 1930s. Um, Donald Killer stopped acting around 2014. Um, he had a brother named Ken Weatherwax. He died a day before his 81st birthday. Damn, who knows? Yeah, damn, that kind of sucks to die before your 81st birthday. Basically, you can't even make it to 81, but even though 80 years old, still pretty good long run. He had a brother named Ken Weatherwax who died in 2014 at the age of 59. Um, and they were both on the show Lassie. Um, he was also known for playing Pugsley Adams on the Addams Family TV show, which ran for 2 years. He did retire from acting in '77, and never really acted after that. So who knows what he did after that? Okay, so that's what he did after he retired from acting. So as so Weatherwax matured and he lost his chubby physique because he was kind of heavy set. Um, Now the program for the Addams Family. Um, now when Pug now when now Ken Weatherwax when he retired from acting in '66, the program ran for 2 seasons. After its cancellation, Weatherwax was found that that people only associated him with Pugsley, and then he lost interest. And then he lost interest in acting. Now, whether Rex had matured, he lost his chubby physique, and he entered the army at 17, and at age 21, he did reprise his role of Pugsley in the 1977 reunion film Halloween with the New Addams Family, although Pugsley was now shown as a taller, muscular character, but he would establish a career behind the camera as a movie studio grip and set builder, and he would make occasional appearances at Addams Family-related events with his former co-star Lisa Loring, who had played Pugsley's younger sister, Wednesday Addams, on the show, and the two remained friends up until his death back in 2014. Yeah, it kind of sucks to be typecast as an actor because that's what happens with a lot of them. Um, let's see. Glenn Burke, who was the drummer from the band Blondie, died. Um, Jay North from Dennis the Menace had died. I used to. I watched the movie Dennis the Menace, but I don't think I ever saw the show, like the actual show when I was younger. Um, let's see here. We're going back to this. I'm gonna have to try to check out Dogecoin later on, see what Dogecoin is actually trading at, and seeing if I can get that on there. Um, okay, so we're getting into you guess here. Since 2020, shares of UPS are trading at their lowest since 2020. New trade tariffs on imports into the United States are likely to cause near-term disruptions to the company's global logistics operation. Um, fucker, come on. Something's going on with my computer here. As I'm waiting for a package to come in. Okay, so what is Dogecoin trading at, and what is Bitcoin trading at? Because that's what I need to look for. Because I want to try to get the one that's offering me more in a trade. So okay, hold on. Is that for Bitcoin or Dogecoin? And what about crypto? Because crypto I know is another thing. So crypto, I don't know if that's the same thing as the Bitcoin and Dogecoin thing. Okay, so here, we're talking about the tariffs with UPS. Now, shares of the United Parcel Service appear lost in transit at the So Deutsche is trading at 16%. Okay, that's not too bad. Shares of United. And so with this cryptocurrency, because I'm still fairly new to it. What do you do with it? It's like Now the logistics giant has been grappling with multiple okay, crypto is the name for all digital currencies. Okay, thank you on that one. I didn't know. I knew crypto had something to do with all this. Now, shares of United Postal Services appear lost in transit at the start of 2025, which UPS trading is down 23% year to date and falling to a near 5-year low at the time of writing. Um, so the logistics giant has been grappling with multiple challenges over the last 7 years, adjusting to the excess post-pandemic capacity and sluggish shipping demand. Now, while the company has a plan in place to adjust its shifting operating environment to support more profitable growth, a big headwind looms. Sweeping trade tariffs being implemented by the Trump administration have some major implications for UPS business and its stock price outlook. Now let's discuss what tariffs mean for UPS investors now. Um, Now, after months of back and forth messaging, the Trump administration unveiled specifics of a transformative new trade policy that started on April 2nd. Um, okay, that's true. Okay, that's good. So, after months of back and forth messaging, the Trump administration unveiled specifics of transformative new trade policy on April 2nd. I never carry cash anyway, so that is good. So that is good then. Um, Now, the United States is imposing a 10% baseline tax on all imports from every country, alongside the higher reciprocal tariffs ranging from 11% to 50% on 57 Pacific nations identified by their trade surpluses. Um, Now, while these tariffs were telegraphed since Trump's presidential campaign, Wall Street saw the details and extent of the measures as much more aggressive than it previously estimated, translating into a steep stock market sell-off. Now, the administration says the measures are aimed at addressing international trade imbalances. Experts anticipate the policies to cause short-term disruptions in supply chains and higher consumer prices as businesses begin to pass along the increased tax burden. Um, Now, for UPS, the tariff effect is multifaceted. Now, customers are using the company's air and freight network for importing goods into the U.S., and it will face higher costs levied as an import duty. Now, this increase could curb demand for international shipping volumes, a critical revenue driver that accounted for 20% of UPS's $91 billion in total sales that they made last year. Um, Now, one detail of the new tariff regime is that it ends a de minimis exception directed at Chinese goods, previously allowing duty-free entry for shipments under $800. Now, the exclusion covered significant volumes of direct-to-consumer e-commerce sales for items like apparel and electronics. But as a result, UPS may not only see a slowdown in business, but also incur additional costs to comply with customers' operations on small parcels. Now, the third dynamic to consider is the possibility of retaliatory tariffs representing the response from U.S. trading partners, and China has already enacted a 34% retaliatory tariff on all UPS goods. In this scenario, UPS shipping volumes also may slow as an international customers reassess their cost and business outlook. Um, Now, there's very little sugarcoating as the UPS tariff hit, but key uncertainties remain. It's so soon to accurately to gauge the potential decline in shipping volumes and its earnings effect. But on the upside, potential negotiations and trade deals could render any near-term weakness temporary. Um, Now, the company's upcoming fiscal 2025 first quarter earnings report for that period ended on March 31st, and it was set to be released on April 29th, and it will offer an opportunity for UPS to update investors on current conditions. Now, since the first quarter covered a period that was likely business as usual, with the new tariffs only taking effect in the second quarter, management comments and forward guidance will likely be more important than the headline numbers. Um, Now, UPS has previously guided um, for a full year revenue of 80 is guided for this year a full revenue of $89 billion, which is representing a modest 2.2% decline compared to 2024. Now, while targeting free cash flow of $5.7 billion, the caveat here is that these targets specifically included the note that they did not reflect any significant potential trade implications due to changes in tariffs, meaning that some downside revisions should be expected. Um, Now, the full year free cash flow estimate will be closely watched by the market as a signal of the sustainability of the company's 5.5 billion annual dividend payout. The one the $1.64 per share quarterly dividend currently yields at 6.7%, which is attempting a high income opportunity, but corresponding to the risk that the dividend could be cut in the future without a sustained earnings improvement. Um, Now, despite the tariff turmoil, UPS retains its core strengths, including underlying profitability and industry leadership. Now, looking beyond this, and looking beyond the near-term stock market volatility, we believe that the company will ultimately emerge stronger. Um, for current shareholders, continuing to hold the stock market makes sense. It's probably too late to sell, but with some of the worst-case scenarios possibly already priced into the stock for investors watching from the sidelines, and wait and see approach may be the prudent opportunity. Um, Now, should you invest $1,000 in United Parcel Service right now? Now, before you decide to buy stock in the UPS service, consider this one thing. The Motley Fool Stock Advisor Analyst team just identified what they believe are the 10 best stocks for investors to buy right now. And United Postal Service wasn't one of them. The 10 stocks that made the cut could produce monster returns in the coming years. Consider this. When Netflix made this list on December 17th of 2004, if you invested $1,000 at the time of the recommendation, you would have $495,000 and $495,226 in today's money if you had invested in Netflix back in 2004, or when the video was made this list on April 15th of 2005. If you had invested $1,000 at the time of your recommendation, you would have had $679,900 in today's money. Now, it's worth noting, Stock Advisor's total average revenue is 796 percent, a market-crushing outperformance compared to 155% for the S&P 500. Now, don't miss out on the latest top 10 list available when you join Stock Advisor. Now, let's take a look at the 10 stocks that they're talking about, and see from here which is the best stock. Okay, let me see here. I gotta put my email in, because I do want to read what these 10 best stocks are. Okay, let's see this here. Oh. So you have Amazon, Netflix, Walt Disney, Nvidia, which I'm not sure what Nvidia is. Okay, those are just several, but I can't find all of them. And I'm going to let you guys go. Hope you guys enjoyed. So, tell me, so we got Dogecoin and Bitcoin. I'm going to have to look at, I got Bitcoin going right now. So I'm going to take a look at Dogecoin, see what makes me more money, and go from there. Because right now I'm hurting for money with the UPS fucking me over by cutting down my days. So we're going to take a look at Dogecoin and Bitcoin, see which one trades more, and see if it's even worth anything for me. because I just started getting into the Bitcoin thing last week. So I'll let you guys go. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you missed it, I'll be back next week with another one. So make sure to hit the like and subscribe button for more live stream videos. If you want to hear more about what's going on, I just have to keep everybody up to date with everything that's going on. But make sure to hit the like and subscribe button for more videos like this. Also, make sure to subscribe to the RBW King channel. If you also want to check out my other YouTube channel, Rusty the King, feel free to check that out and look at those videos and subscribe there too as well. Also, if you want to support my work even further, I do have a Patreon link, which you can find in the About section of YouTube. And for just as little as a few bucks a video, your donation can help go a long way to further fund this channel. And thanks for listening, and I'll see you guys next week.